I think we all knew that this day was coming, that Elon Musk would not be the CEO of Twitter forever, and he has found a replacement who is going to step in. In a tweet the other day, he obviously said this announcement saying that he was excited to announce he's hired a new CEO for X/Twitter. She'll be starting in 6 weeks, and then his role is going to be the executive chair and CTO overseeing product, software, and PsyOps. So he's obviously not stepping away from Twitter, right? He's still probably going to be very heavily involved. And I think that this is more of a move to get someone else to be kind of the face so he doesn't have to deal with the CEO stuff, but he's still going to really control everything, right? I don't think that that's going to be a change, which is funny because everybody on the internet is losing their mind over this, maybe rightfully so, but it seems like there's no one on any side of the internet that is happy about this CEO. And as Linda Yaccarino, I think she's with NBC Universal. She's in the advertising over there and working with relationships with advertisers. And that's why I think that Elon wants to bring this person in, because she's obviously experienced with advertisers, making that money, has a network there. So Twitter obviously has a massive debt burden that they have to figure out. And the biggest way Twitter can make money and scale that is by advertising. Obviously, Elon Musk said, "I'm excited to welcome Linda as the new CEO of Twitter. She will focus primarily on business operations while I focus on product design and new technology. Looking forward to working with Linda to transform this platform into X, the everything app." So, can Elon actually do that with Twitter? Maybe, I don't know. But more importantly, the CEO is somebody who is going to be working on advertiser relations, probably more like that, bringing in ad money, because Twitter is a sinking ship right now. They have to figure it out. They don't have a choice, right? It's like $1 billion a year payment in interest on their debt. So they got to figure out how to scale and make some money. And maybe she's right for that. But she's also got a couple of weird things going on that people don't like, and maybe rightfully so. You can see, if you go to her LinkedIn, you can obviously see her stuff here. NBC Universal. She's the chairman, global advertising and partnerships. Also had chairman advertising and client partnerships. So a bunch of this advertising, digital advertising, all this stuff. Basically, the main reason she's in there, to bring in more ad dollars. That's really what it seems like. The big problem comes with stuff like this, with saying, like, in hopes of boosting advertising. She is the chair of the Advertising Council and Board of Directors. Only issue, she is the chair of the World Economic Forum's Task Force on Future of Work. And the World Economic Forum is a pretty controversial group, right? And pretty globalist. The ideas that they have aren't necessarily the greatest of all time. And that's the biggest reason people are upset at what's going on here. And you can't really blame anyone. The World Economic Forum, not something people look at and admire and think's the greatest thing in the world. And her being a part of that doesn't scream the best things. Why would you want to be a part of that? And why would Elon Musk bring this person in to his company when he's supposed to be the biggest free speech person of all time? And everyone's talking about censorship coming back and shadow bans and the old Twitter. But the funny thing is literally nobody likes her, and both sides, like left and right, every single part of the internet, nobody is saying like she's a good hire. If you look at one side saying it's the worst thing in the world because of World Economic Forum stuff, the other side says that she's like this super far right person that does all this stuff. So maybe that's the right person to hire, right? Maybe that's the right person to be in charge. If everybody hates her for some sort of reason, then maybe she's doing something right. But at the end of the day, I don't think that it really matters what she's either thinks or wants to do, because I still think that Elon Musk doesn't really, like, he's not some super free speech absolutist person on Twitter. We've seen things go down. We've seen, how he's not maybe living up to that, and people have been upset about that in the past. But I think that she's more of a figurehead, more of a face to put on CEO, to do the CEO things, but Elon Musk is probably still going to do the bulk of everything on the back end, but not have to deal with being the face of Twitter and the CEO and deal with what comes with that. And he can go back to kind of taking those parts that he was focusing on Twitter and bring it back to being Tesla's CEO. And a lot of Tesla shareholders will probably be happy about that because, he's been kind of abandoning Tesla for the last few months. At least that's what the people who are invested in Tesla have been saying. But I think maybe we just go into this and not just judge everything without anything happening, right? Let's let it play out a little bit. Let's see what happens, right? That's all we can do at this point. Elon Musk makes the decisions. The CEO that he picks is going to be the one he picks. And worst comes to worst, if something catastrophic happens and people are actually up in arms against Twitter, he can just replace her. He can fire her as easy as he hired her, right? I think this kind of breaks down some points here that maybe people are kind of overlooking, saying like Elon Musk just hired the appointment of Linda Yaccarino to lead Twitter as a CEO to handle company's business operations, dealing with regulators and advertising. What this means that Elon Musk will now have ample time to deal with the actual product, the algorithm. As the sole owner of Twitter, Elon Musk drives the company's policies and its overall direction. So yeah, I think that is the big part. I think that's going to be what's split up, is the more advertiser things, product, like regulation, dealing with people in the government and doing all this stuff. I think is going to be handed off to her. More product side stuff, algorithm, Twitter operations is going to be on Elon's decisions. But he's not the sole owner, I think. I don't think Elon Musk owns 100% of Twitter. He took on a lot of investors to get Twitter. He didn't put up 44 billion of his own. I think he might have the majority, so he still is the decision maker, but he's not the sole owner, so that's a little wrong. But I also think that this guy gives a little too much credit here, saying the mandate for free speech remains unchanged. No one spends $44 billion in a failing business to continue the same practices that led it to fail. Will I share some of the concerns many on the right have about introducing a seemingly liberal person to helm Twitter? With regards to free speech, I trust that Elon knows what he's doing. I think that so many people trust Elon Musk way too much. They think like everything that he does is the greatest thing in the world. He's never wrong. He can't possibly be wrong. When you got to take the rose-colored glasses off, you got to look at things objectively and say, he's not going to make every single right decision, and he doesn't look out for you. He didn't buy Twitter to be this free speech person, say it has to be protected. He tried to back out of the deal as much as he could. He desperately tried to abandon this Twitter deal. So, he had no choice but to buy Twitter. He was forced into it. So, to say that he's not going to do things that would bring back the old Twitter, yeah, he absolutely would, if it means that he's not going to lose all this money. If it means that he can turn Twitter around and actually make money or do stuff. Now, I don't think he can completely abandon what he's said in the past with being a free speech thing and just go back to shadow banning and banning people for no reason and stuff and doing all these things, because that would absolutely tarnish everything, and I think that would burn Twitter to the ground. I think people would abandon Twitter at that point. So he's got to walk a fine line here, but he's not on your side. He's on his side. He wants to make his money. He wants to do what's best in his interest, and he's not the free speech absolutist person that he puts on, because he desperately tried to back out of the Twitter deal multiple times for many months. So it's not like this is something he wanted to do. But what do you think of the new Twitter CEO? Is she going to be good? Is she going to be bad? Are you already writing her off before even, seeing what she does? Or are you going to wait and see, what decisions come out and maybe how the platform rolls forward based off her being in that position? But that's going to do it for this video. As always, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video.